I remember like when I went to Northport, like I would just watch him on the computer doing all this stuff. I had no idea what he was doing. So, but when I got to the studio in Tampa, I had no choice but to learn how to use Pro Tools because nothing was happening. I like if I didn't do it myself, nothing would happen at all. And I would learn bits and pieces from different people. Like we'd have interns that would come in, and I'd learn some stuff from them. But I guess what I got out of that is I didn't get like a really good like finished recording product out of that. But what I did get is I got some of the knowledge that they got. They would go to like Full Sail or college for like recording, and then they would come and be interns at the studio, and I would just kind of absorb what they knew by watching them. Man, that was the biggest waste of time. 5 years, it went by, and I finally just released the album that I originally had. 5 years of hard work, like working constantly for nothing, just for nothing. I basically turned from music artist recording in a studio to live-in slave. I'm not working on any music. I'm just here working, for the studio. It was just a disaster. It was the worst thing that ever happened to my music career. Like, I mean, I learned a couple things. I learned some, a bunch of stuff about recording, but that's not why I went there. I went there to get in and out, record it, release my music, and move on. Well, I guess what changed in me, after that or towards the end of that relationship is that, when things just don't work out, they just don't work out. You just move on, keep going. What should I spend another 10 years of my life waiting for on someone else, Or should I just move on and move on to the next? And it's amazing. Like, as soon as I left that place, like, it was like it all came back. Like as soon as I left, putting out video after video, like, it was basically like it made me stand up and push the boundaries out of my way. Like, okay, that's it, move. That's enough. Every time I write a song, it always sounds a little bit different in my head than how it actually comes out. Like I'll go into the studio thinking the song is going to sound a certain way. Sometimes it doesn't sound as good as I thought, but sometimes it just like blows my mind. Like, wow, I can't believe this sounds so cool. A lot of people are, they are looking for fame or fortune or whatever, like, but for me, like being in the studio and like when I can't even describe that feeling that you get when, you go from this idea that's in your head. I mean, after all of those, the hours in the studio session and all the time you put into it, and then you listen back, and then it's like you get goosebumps, and then like this feeling of, oh my god, wow, like I can't even believe I'm hearing that. Like, I don't know, there's just something magical about that, that like it's adrenaline that you just don't get from anything else, and that's for me, that's where it's at. You know, Same thing with videos too. It's an idea. To see it come to life, and I mean, if somebody likes it on top of that, it's a plus. But like for me, it's just like from an idea to wow, you're listening to it. I'd spent thousands of dollars promoting my stuff on Facebook. Something happened, and like I don't know if like my Facebook page got hacked or something. And then like I remember like in 2018 or something, I mean some other Marcus Ryan came out of the woodworks and started like playing hip hop stuff, and like, but I've already been established, like I released music like in 2008, 2009. I ended up having to like trademark my name, Marcus Ryan, because it was crazy. Like if you went to go look for my music, you would see him. So like there was this confusion thing going on. So like I didn't want to do that. I felt bad for the guy. Like his name was Marcus Ryan too, but it's not like I was like trying to attack the guy.
Yeah.
I was just trying to protect my own after everything that I'd been through, after going through all of that, getting sick and working for 10 years of my life. I'm not willing to like erase everything that I've done so that someone else can use that name. So, in my opinion, I did what I had to do. I remember when I was a kid, I used to have my dad used to have this 4-track recorder. At the time, nobody else in the neighborhood had anything like that. And I would record the guitar, and then I would record the bass, and then I would record some drums, and then sing on it. And I'd play it for my friends, and they'd be like, "Wow, man, how did you make that?" Most people don't know it, but like that song "This Hell," that's actually a song that I wrote with one of my best friends growing up named Dijon. He used to sit around outside with an acoustic guitar. I remember like he helped me brainstorm the lyrics on that song, and I recorded that. I mean, I wrote that when I was like 14, and I just I recorded it like in 2013. I don't remember where it was. Like I was still at the studio. I'm not sure if my brother called me from San Antonio, and he told me that Dijon had passed away. And that hit me really, really hard. Man, I can't even describe how many memories I have for that guy. Like, I mean, like, he was like a brother. Like, he lived with me. I remember he used to live with me at my dad's house, and then he lived with me. He was a roommate of mine at this other house. Man, so many memories. So when he passed away, it was just like, it hit hard. But it also gave me really bad anxiety, because like, I felt like if he could die, something could happen to me too. And here I am, still sitting here at this studio, spinning my wheels, doing nothing. Like waiting around for this guy that's just never gonna put anything out. Him passing away is what really a little fire in my ass. Like, man, got to. There's no time. There's no time to do this anymore. If you're gonna do it, do it. Best friend just died, and like, I'm just wasting my life away. Like, if I'm gonna do anything, I need to do it right now. There's no more time to waste. So like, if you want to put out a music video, do it right now. No, not tomorrow, right now. I mean, I had thought about putting out music videos and stuff, but when he passed away, it was just like, no, right now. At that point, I'd had enough. Like I'd had enough. Like, no, man, like no, nobody else is gonna like dictate whether or not I'm allowed to be a musician. Like, nobody's gonna tell me. Like, that's what it feels like. It feels like like a lot of times like friends or whatever, like they treat you like I'm not allowed to be a musician. Like I've always been talented with woodwork, and like stuff like that, building, and I've always been talented with music, like equally. Like when it comes to the studio, it doesn't really benefit anybody there that I'm a musician. It benefits them that I'm a really good carpenter, because they can get something out of that. They can't get anything out of my music, but they can get something. I can build something for them. It's really, I really feel like it's down to based on what you can give somebody. I guess it just got to the point to where, like, no one is allowed to do that. No one is allowed to dictate whether I fail or succeed. Nobody's allowed to dictate whether, I can do what I'm passionate about. Like, I'm not You know, I was put on this earth and I have a couple of talents. You know, leave me alone. You know, that's you know. You know, a lot of people take your desires and aspirations and they will turn it and they will use it as a bait, you know, to get you to do things. And like, you know, like a steak in front of a dog, you know, like, hey, if you do this, if you do this, if you do that, and you do this, and you do this, and you do that, you know, it's, you know, but at what point have you done enough, you know? At what point have you served your time, you know? Like, at what point have you paid your dues, you know?